Hello financial investors, my name is Brent and today we're going to be covering our M1 Finance buys of the week here on the 12th of August 2019. We're going to start this video off by taking a look at the stock futures. We're also going to look at the performance for the M1 Finance portfolio, what stocks were up, what stocks were down last week, also the percent change for the week and the activity, what stocks paid out, and what stocks did I buy and reinvest my dividends into. We're also going to be jumping into some activity coming up this week. What stocks are actually going to be paying out this week? I have an interesting way of tracking what stocks are going to be paying out. I'll go ahead and share that with you guys going forward now. Week after week, I'll kind of be doing this. And then we're going to be taking a look at two stocks I am buying here on Monday. So if you are brand new to the channel, have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. I cover the stock market, dividends, and real estate. If you're interested in any of those topics, definitely hit the subscribe. If you do enjoy this video, find it helpful, hit the thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions yourself, would like to let me know what stocks you are buying this week or planning and just kind of looking into, drop them in the comment section below. I do read and reply to all your comments, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, I'm going to go ahead and flip my screen around here, and we're going to go ahead and start off looking at stock futures. Now here on the left hand side, stock futures are currently positive. Now I'm actually a little bit surprised that they're currently positive because you can see the headline here. Asian markets have opened with China's yuan actually lower for an 8th straight day. But actually their markets are actually been positive or flat on the day. I've been kind of watching this and they've been basically sitting at 0 to anywhere between 0% and up to about 0.10%, which is basically still flat. So they're not actually moving down or up right now with that news. And it's actually sort of supporting, showing a little bit of support here in the opening markets with the S&P and the Dow Jones almost up 0.25% and the NASDAQ up there almost 0.5% there. So kind of interesting. Last week, the performance from the S&P 500, the S&P down 0.46, the Dow Jones down 0.75, the NASDAQ down 0.56. Now, jumping into the M1 Finance portfolio, let's see if I can zoom in here just a little bit. We can see that overall this portfolio is showing a money-weighted return currently of 12.3%. Now, we'll look at my last week's video, and you can see here this was up 13.31% there with about 1166 here. So we did lose some equity this week. We can see that this past week was down just slightly, down 0.5% with market gain loss there of about $85. Now, we did earn some dividends last week. Some companies went ex-dividend, and we earned some dividends of $6.17. Now, these are not payable yet. So while we've sat through the ex-dividend date and we've earned these dividends, they have not all been paid out into the account. And we can see here our new equity for the week starting balance is $15,754.71. So here it's just slightly higher, and that is because I did add some equity in last week. We can see here I did my Monday equity add of $115.38, plus I had some dividends from ABM, and that $115 and that payout from dividend of $1 and some change allowed me to buy Simon Property Group for $150. I actually purchased it for equity-wise, my deposit, $116.84. I purchased it at $155.66, and I bought about 3/4 of a share there. Now, throughout the week, I did receive some other dividends. We can see here, ABM dividend had also sat in the portfolio, and Lowe's had also sat in the portfolio. So last week on the 7th, which was Wednesday, the markets had actually dropped low in the morning. Stock futures were low in the morning. So what I did here, because I did see stock futures low in the morning, here on M1 Finance, I went ahead and set a trigger for another buy, just $1.65 here. Where is it? One here, $1.95. But I just dropped another $1.95 here in the Simon Property Group. Instead of share price of $155, I was able to buy this one for $152.46. Now, here we do have Lowe's that paid out $2.09, and that is what is currently sitting here in cash in the account. Now, jumping back into the 1 week performance here, we can see here what stocks were positive this week, what stocks were negative. My big winners this week were CVS Health Corporation, up 8.77, WP Carey, that real estate investment trust, up 5.54. Lockheed Martin, Avery, Essex Property Trust, Apple, Southern Company, and so on. You can see many of these companies up anywhere from 3 to as high as almost 9% here in the portfolio. Now, some of the positions that did get hit pretty hard last week: Cardinal Health down 2.64, Simon Property Group down 2.39, Caterpillar, Pfizer, Altria, Las Vegas Sands. Really, it's kind of interesting that these positions here, their equity-wise, don't seem to be fairly large, but in comparison to the positive ones up here. So I'm actually surprised to see that this portfolio is actually negative for the week versus about flat or even slightly positive. So it's kind of interesting there. I feel like I would have more green pushing me higher into the positive versus red pushing me into the negative. But I do see here Cardinal Health took me down a $16.52. So that alone is probably bigger. No, I have a few. That's kind of interesting. So I'm not sure how that all weighs out. It does actually look like I would actually end up positive for the week, but this is showing negative. So just interesting. Now, going into what stocks are coming out to pay out this week. Now, I'm using Dividend.com for this. Now, you go over here into their tools, Dividend Assistant. I made a video on doing this here. I believe last Friday I went over my video of how I'm now making $1,000 in dividends from August 1st going forward. And this is sort of what I'm tracking now. I'm not able to put in some of my funds for my Roth 401k, or I don't include some of my other accounts that I have out there. But as far as some of the accounts here that I show publicly, I do have Apple Hospitality paying me out roughly 60 cents here on Thursday the 15th. That's correct. We also have AbbVie. I've been buying up quite a bit of AbbVie, both in my M1 Finance portfolio. Here we can see AbbVie is down slightly. Actually, it looks like it came positive this week. Positive this week at 0.54%, seeming to finding some sort of a support level here. That one should pay me out roughly $69.55. Now, I hold a large majority of my AbbVie position over on Merrill Edge that I don't really discuss here a whole lot. I have Apple, which I hold here on M1, should be paying me out roughly $3.08. We have Eaton Vance paying out roughly 70 cents. We have Main Street Capital paying out 82 cents. And we have Tanger Factory Outlets paying me out roughly $10.65. So here, this week, I should make around $70, almost $80 of dividend income between these few portfolios here that I have out there. So that is kind of very interesting. So here on Thursday, I should receive some dividends, get paid out into the accounts. I'll be more than likely reinvesting those, dripping them back into AbbVie. I'll probably be reinvesting that one. I think I have that one set up as a drip over on Merrill Edge, but some of these other ones I'll probably just let them sit in the account and reinvesting them in next week on our Monday buys. Now, as far as stocks that are currently negative in the portfolio, this is the spreadsheet here that I use to kind of keep track of what positions equity-wise I am down in. Now, over on M1 Finance, this is money weighted because it does include the dividend. So here we can see actually quite a bit numbered more. It looks like we see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So 13 positions showing negative there, and we see 15 here. So at M1 Finance is showing 13 positions in the negative here as of all this market volatility here in these past 2 weeks. Normally, when I've done these videos in the past, we would only have 4 positions in the red. We would have AbbVie, Altria, Caterpillar, and 3M. Now we actually have a number of positions that have came down slightly due to market volatility, lowered rates, the yuan, the trade war escalation coming back on everyone's minds. So this market volatility, it's going to happen. The market's going to take down stocks. It's going to bring them back up. So it's normal out there. So it's nice to see a good number of positions that are available. Now this week I do have my eyes set on 2 stocks I'm planning to buy. Now this will probably be the last time that I'm buying in the Simon Property Group. It is hitting my equity level that I'm wanting to have these positions in. So if I move into my cost basis here, my cost basis in all my positions, I'm trying to put them right around $700. Now Simon Property Group is sitting at $680.45. So I do plan on moving some capital into Simon Property Group, pushing it slightly over $700. Now, the other position here that I am planning on buying is also 3M. 3M is down equity-wise roughly 13.73%. That's showing here about 14.75. My calculation here, it's just a little bit different than what M1 Finance. M1 Finance is probably more accurate versus my calculation that I use to kind of calculate these. But I do plan on averaging down here on 3M and Simon Property Group. Now, both of these positions are coming up on ex-dividend. Here, Simon Property Group is coming up on ex-dividend. It's a real estate investment trust in the retail area. So here, retail. It is coming up on ex-dividend here on August 15th, which is 2 days and 23 hours away. It's currently Monday morning here right now. And 3M, it's a conglomerate. Now this one is it's also going ex-dividend here on Thursday. So by buying both of these, it is allowing me to lower my unit costs on these positions. I am also increasing my yield on cost because SPG, my buy yield for this is 4.93 from where I started my unit cost here at, and what it's paying, my yield on cost is 4.93, but SPG is currently offering a 5.29. So by buying this at a lower price, it is lowering my unit cost because I'm averaging down. It is increasing my yield on cost because I'm basically just getting more dividend income with a higher yield at a lower price. And I'm also increasing my dividend income going forward by a larger amount than I would be had I bought it prior. Now, I'm also doing the exact same thing here for 3M. I'm getting roughly a 14% discount from where I decided to make that purchase of 3M here, and that is currently offering a 3.52% starting yield. Now, that is pretty unheard of for 3M. If I just go ahead and bring these stocks up here, I'm going to go ahead and bring my graph tool. I'm going to go ahead and punch in 3M and SPG. And I'm going to go ahead and just look at their yields over the past 10 years. So here, 3M yield. If we drew a line from what is it now? Let's go look at 3M. 3.52 over the past 10 years. Let's go look at the whole graph. We'll look at 3M. Now, 3M in the past, during the recession of 2008, yes, it had offered. Let's go ahead and throw in recessions in here. So see this gray period here? This is a recession in 2008 to 2009. Here at the peak of the recession, 3M did offer a higher starting yield of 3.5, but it was only around for a very short time. Right now, in the current market, we are now getting the opportunity of getting a starting yield of 3.43. If we look at the price here for the appreciation, 3M is a solid company that continues to raise their revenue, net income, free cash flow over year after year, and their price generally follows that trend. Yes, right now, the current short-term market is not liking 3M with the trade war, but this, in a few years, we'll just be looking back at this. You may see 3M trading back above that 240-day dollar price, and just kind of this little blip in the market will seem unnoticed here. If you look at the market here back in the recession period, it'll just seem like another blip in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Now, if we look at SPG, take away the, just look at the dividend yield. Now, looking at SPG over the past 10 years, you can see here, for the past 10 years, this 5.23% starting yield was almost unheard of. Except back in the 2008 recession here. Again, back in that recession period in 2008 to 2009, you could buy SPG around almost higher than a 12% starting yield. But recently here in the 10-year period, except for coming out of that recession, you could not buy SPG at a starting yield of 5.23. And all of these companies here that I am continuing to invest in, they all are growing their revenue, their free cash flow, and their income. If I just look at their percentages here over the past 10 years, just the trend here that these companies are moving in. I'm just looking at the maximum data that these companies provide, revenue, net income, free cash flow, all moving in a positive upwards direction. Also SPG, if we take a look at their movement, also in an upwards direction and the thousands of percent change over the last several years. So I am very confident buying these specific companies here. into the future. So those are the two companies here that I do plan on buying. I am planning on buying some SPG. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get this topped off to about $700. So what my focus is here on SPG is I'm going to go ahead and toss $30 at this one. This should put my unit or my starting capital in SPG to now over $700. And then also 3M position. Its starting equity here is around, I believe I need to add quite a bit more. It's about $80 and some change. So what I'm going to do here is I've added $30 towards the other position. I am going to go ahead and target $100 towards this one, just so I know that all of my equity is going to be invested here. I'm actually overshooting how much capital I'm going to have available, and I've already talked about this, why I like to overshoot my invested capital. That means that regardless if I don't believe I'm going to have any dividends come in tomorrow, but just for whatever reason, if dividends do happen to come in tomorrow, I will have all of those dividends plus the capital sitting in cash in the account reinvested into the market tomorrow when it does open here and those trades do take place. So that is basically all I wanted to cover today in today's video. We went over stock futures. The market's currently looking positive. The yuan is on everyone's mind right now as it's on its 8th day of trending lower. We've also discussed the changes for the week for my portfolio, the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones. Sort of compared them, looked at the activity for the week. We also took a look at what stocks are coming up ex-dividend this week that I am planning on buying. Again, 3M and SPG. I went over the charts of these specific companies, kind of showcasing why in my opinion, I am bullish on these positions, even though they are negative in my portfolio. This is a buying opportunity for me. I am not advising or telling anybody to go out these and buy these stocks, because this is just a fun entertainment, and these positions are in my portfolio, not yours. So that is all I wanted to cover in today's video. If there's anything you would like to see covered here in an upcoming video, drop it into the comment section below. I do read and reply to all your comments, and of course, if you did like this video, hit that thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm, helps the channel grow. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would highly appreciate if you do subscribe to the channel. I cover the stock market, dividends, and real estate. I have information here on the channel on all of those topics, as well as over on my website, thefinancial-investor.com. So that is it for today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.